chakras. Just to give you a little bit of an introduction into the chakras, they are seven energy centers that are in our body. They start at the base of our spine and they move up and up. And the last chakra is at the crown of the head. And these really represent different aspects of our inner world, of our outer world, of our connection to what is outside of us. If we start off with this first chakra here, which is depicted as the color red, this is Muladhara. This is called our root chakra. And it essentially represents our ability to feel safe, to have all of our basic needs met in the world. When this is imbalanced, then we feel like we are unsafe, we are not grounded, we are not rooted anywhere. We feel a lack of community. We feel kind of disconnected to our basic needs and our survival. This is the root chakra, Muladhara. If we move up to the second chakra, this is called Svadhisthana. And this is also referred to as our sacral chakra, as you can imagine. And I forgot to mention, the root chakra is located at the base of our spine. So imagine where the spine starts at the base, and oftentimes you can pinpoint where this is if you're sitting down in a chair or on the ground. It's where essentially the base of the spine meets where you are sitting, where you are making contact with the ground or a chair, for example. So that's Muladhara at the base of our spine. The sacral chakra is really at that area that is essentially below our belly button and is kind of the sacral area. This really covers our reproductive area of our body. And the sacral chakra really represents our connection to our creativity, our one-to-one relationships with others, our sexuality, our expression in that way. So when this feels imbalanced, we feel a disconnect from our one-to-one relationships with others, our creativity, to our own inner sexuality or expression. And so these are some of the ways that this chakra can manifest if it is imbalanced or blocked. If we move up to the third chakra, that is called Manipura. That is personally one of my favorite chakras. It essentially is at our solar plexus. So it lies beneath our heart, but above our belly button. So in that middle abdominal area. And this stands for the seat of our personal power. So our ability to take action, to get fired up, to really hone into our personal power, our inner strength, our inner fire, that passion that lies when we really strive after going after our goals. And so when this is imbalanced, we can feel a big disconnect from our personal power, that lack of empowerment feeling that we can have, that lack of control after our goals. And this can even manifest, for example, if we kind of have this disconnect from our solar plexus, which can even feel like our gut region as well. And then if we move up, we get to our Anahata, our heart chakra. As you can imagine, this is at the heart center of our body. And this really represents, as you can imagine, our ability to receive love, our ability to give love, to have that self-compassion, that self-love, but also that ability to give love and compassion and care to others. As you can imagine, if this is blocked, then we feel struggle in receiving love and even receiving love from ourselves. So we have an inability to give love to ourselves, an inability to freely give love to others around us as well. So that is Anahata. If we move up to the fifth chakra, that is Vishuddha, and that is essentially our center for our truth, our ability to speak. That is located in the throat. It's referred to as a throat chakra. And this is really the chakra that is behind our ability to speak our truth, to communicate ourselves to the world around us and to others, and to know the inner truth as well, and to be able to speak what it is that we know. So as you can imagine, if this chakra is blocked or imbalanced, we have this inability to speak up for ourselves, this inability to communicate, to speak up for our needs, to communicate the truth, perhaps to even be in touch with our truth and our voice, essentially. So that is Vishuddha, that is throat chakra. We move up, we're really hitting more into the spiritual chakras. And what I mean by spiritual chakras is really our starting our connection to the divine, to this higher power around us. As you can notice here, we went from more physical chakras, meeting our physical needs, more to kind of relational chakras as we kind of move up. Right, so we're moving outside from the physical, more into the emotional. The sacral chakra is really where the seat of the emotions are, feelings and inner world. And now we're kind of moving a little bit more up into our connection to the spirit, to the great source, as some may call the divine. And the sixth chakra here is called Ajna, and that is the third eye. So if you ever heard it referred to in a yoga class as look to the third eye, that's when you're really looking up into this area that is in between the forehead, above both eyes in the center. And that is our seat of intuition, of sort of collecting information, that inner compass that we have, that knowing that we have, our connection to the divine is beginning here, and we're really starting to gain that collected wisdom. So you can imagine if this is blocked, we don't really have a clear vision. We don't have clarity in our lives. We have a disconnect with our intuition, with our inner knowing. And then if we move up to the seventh chakra here, you can see it's a beautiful 1,000-petaled lotus, which has many meanings in Eastern and other ancient religions. That is called Sahasrara. And that is essentially our crown chakra. You can imagine it is at the crown of our head. And in ancient philosophy, especially with the philosophy behind chakras, so within Hinduism, the crown chakra is at the crown of our head, and that really is that connection between us and what is outside of us. And this can be many different things to different people. For some people, this may be God. For some people, this may be another sort of deity, and so forth. And so the crown chakra really represents our connection to the divine, our connection to the spiritual realm that is outside of us, and us feeling connected as if we are part of one together. And so if you can imagine, if this is blocked, then we don't feel this connection of belonging to this greater power around us, really the sense of unity with the divine. And really what's interesting about the chakras is the more that we learn to unblock the lower chakras, then by unblocking each chakra, we kind of move the energy up. And our goal is to move the energy up. If you have been familiar or practiced Kundalini yoga, Kundalini yoga really centers around kind of moving this dormant energy up from the base of the spine all the way up as a way to kind of release the chakras and energy centers in a way to get us to be kind of unblocked and connected outside of ourselves. So a lot of yoga really, even without mentioning it, works to unblock these chakras. And by unblocking the root chakra, it really helps move the energy up into the sacral chakra, where we can really help to unblock the sacral chakra, moving up into the Manipura chakra and so forth. The goal being here, and I don't want to use goal in the sense of like this is the ultimate goal, but with unblocking the chakras, we have the hopes of moving the energy up and really opening up that crown chakra and really connecting ourselves to the divine. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of an introduction into the chakras, and we can really imagine them as spinning energy wheels. Okay, so imagine a spinning energy wheel at the root, right at the base of the spine, and then the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown. So these are spinning energy, and these really manifest in physical manifestations when they are in balance. As you can imagine, where they are located sort of gives us an idea of what can be imbalanced. For example, if a throat chakra is blocked or imbalanced, this may manifest in throat symptoms. For example, this could be thyroid issues. This could be like throat congestion issues. This could be hoarse voice, not being able to speak properly. And of course, these seem physical to us, but it may be that it's really representing an underlying inner block that could be emotional in the sense, it could be spiritual. in a sense. It could be deeply stored trauma in a sense as well. All right, well, thank you for listening, and I hope that you got some information about chakras, and I wish you well in your journey in unlocking them.